Hi, I'm Rumit Mehta, CEO and founder of Immersion Journeys, and you're watching AFK Insider. It's a long road. I'm actually trained as an architect. I was born in Africa, born in East Africa, trained as an architect, came to the US, worked about 13 or 14 years in the industry and fell into the travel sector because of my knowledge of Africa and East Africa growing up. So that's how I sort of fell into the travel sector, but I'm also incorporating a lot of my architecture, design, know-how into things like the lodge in northern Ghana, where a friend of mine is building a lodge. So that's the sort of, a 42-year-old history in a nutshell of how I ended up doing what I did. I realized very early on, even though what I was doing before in the architecture profession, that I'm very much a people person. And it was a combination of, it was serendipity. A friend of mine was starting a travel company, needed somebody in New York to sort of help him set it up, the New York office, and I agreed to do it on a part-time basis, sort of testing out the waters. And I realized I was having a lot more fun doing that eventually than sitting behind a desk all day, working with a pen and paper all day. And it also allowed me to sort of get out, see a lot of the African continent that I hadn't even visited while I was growing up. So it was, and after a few years of helping out this friend, it became very convincing that I was very convinced that at that point I should start my own. And I fell into that using some of the some of the business philosophies that I wanted to incorporate on how to show Africa and the world to clients who were very keen and interested and curious about travel. It's a lot. The whole travel business is based on a tremendous amount of trust. You are dealing with people. It's a people-to-people thing. We're not really giving them something to hold in their hands as far as the product is concerned. What we're providing is a service, and the service starts with the client calling you. So when I first started getting into the business, my immediate sort of questions I had to myself was, when I was building my business model, is what does a client want? And how do I develop a product or products on showing them the part of the world that I came from. We had to go out and meet with a lot of tourism boards and sort of introduce ourselves to see how we can partner with them and create these kind of partnerships. Using some of their endorsements, they have to get to know us. There's a trust factor in that too. So, who are you? Why do you want to do this business? And why are you getting to this business now when you're competing with so many others? The travel business is also very easy to start. Anybody can start a travel business. It doesn't take too much money, but what is really required is the fundamental know-how of where you're traveling. So we had to do a little bit of research on that. I know Africa, I know East and Southern Africa, but not everybody has traveled there, or neither have I. So I had to actually spend some time on the continent and getting to know a lot of the players on the ground. And from there, it started off as a business. Start servicing interested clients, and my first clients were my friends and family, and the usual support that you get from your first. I would say the first 10 clients are always your friends and family, and then they are the ones who spread the word out and get you other clients. The advantage we have is we're sort of the glue that holds everybody together, everything together. The online business is definitely there. For those who are savvy, those who have the confidence, may find that it's easy to book hotels and book transport. But what they forget a lot of times, especially in a continent as challenging as Africa is, for example, is that what happens in between. So we're the people who sort of fill the holes. We sort of are the glue that holds the whole program together from the time they arrive at the airport to the time they return back at the airport for their flight home. Honestly speaking, we're not any different from the next safari company. But what we provide is that some of the fundamental things that we have is we're also local. We're from there. We're from the region. Most companies have owners who are not really from the region. They've traveled there enough. But the fact is I still have family over there. I still have friends there. In fact, I have an office there in Tanzania. Helps to differentiate us, where when our clients call us, we are talking local, sitting in New York. We're not talking about over there. We actually can put them in our seat because we're from that region. We've also remained very small. A lot of times the travel companies grow because they're getting a lot of clients and they add a lot of staff. All of our staff members, I have 3 staff members, of which 2 of us, the 2 key ones, are, one colleague is from Kenya and I'm from Tanzania. We're both of Indian heritage, but we're 3rd generation born in East Africa. So we know the countries that we were born and raised in very, very well.